Hey everyone! Welcome back to ZoomInData. And this is episode 21 of our KQL Concepts Deep Dive series. Today we are exploring binning and discretization, the conceptual role they play in time series analysis, histograms, and grouping at scale. We are keeping everything pure concepts and interview focused. If you missed episode 20 on percentile and ranking functions, it's a good lead-in for today's topic. Let's get started. Here is our roadmap for today. Binning turns continuous values into discrete buckets or intervals. Discretization reduces cardinality and enables meaningful grouping. Bin is the core function for time and numeric discretization. Its key role in time series is aggregating high-frequency data into readable windows. It enables histograms, trend lines, heat maps, and downsampling. The trade-off is resolution versus cardinality explosion prevention. Let's dive into why this matters so much. Why do we even need binning and discretization? Raw timestamps or numeric values have near infinite cardinality. Every millisecond or every decimal is unique. Grouping by raw values creates one group per unique value. Instant cardinality explosion, memory crash. Binning collapses those values into fixed size intervals, like 1 hour, 5 minutes, or 10-degree ranges. This reduces groups from millions to hundreds or thousands, prevents memory blow-up and makes queries feasible. Most importantly, it creates human-readable and visualizable aggregates, trends over time, latency distributions, error rates per hour. Without binning, time series and histograms are impossible at scale. The bin function is the heart of discretization in KQL. Its philosophy is simple: floor the value to the nearest multiple of the interval. For time, bin timestamp 1h snaps every event to the start of its hour, consistent window starts. For numbers, bin score 10 puts values into 0 to 9, 10 to 19, and so on. It always rounds down. That keeps time series aligned to logical boundaries. The real power comes when you group by bin, summarize count, by bin, timestamp, 5 meters, turns millions of events into a clean 5-minute trend line. Fixed size buckets also prevent uneven group sizes, unlike dynamic bucketing that can create tiny or massive groups. This consistency and cardinality control is what makes bin so powerful for analytics. Look at this 3-part diagram. It shows exactly why binning is so powerful in KQL. On the left, a continuous timeline, raw timestamps scattered everywhere. See the arrows snapping each point down to the nearest bin start, 0:100, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. That's bin, flooring every event to the beginning of its time window. No more infinite unique timestamps. On the right, a numeric axis, continuous values like latency or scores. Bin groups them into clean intervals, 0 to 9, 10 to 19, 20 to 29, turning chaos into discrete buckets ready for counting or averaging. In the middle, group by bin, suddenly millions of raw points collapse into a handful of groups. See the reduced group icons and the smooth trend line that emerges. That's the payoff: low cardinality, no explosion, and beautiful, readable time series or histograms. Binning doesn't just reduce data, it transforms ungroupable raw streams into meaningful patterns you can actually visualize and act on. Get the bin size right, and your analytics become fast, scalable, and insightful. Binning plays a starring role in time series and histograms. In time series, bin plus summarize creates regular, evenly spaced time buckets, perfect for plotting trends. It feeds directly into Make series for gap filling and interpolation. No more missing data points. For histograms, bin, on a numeric column, latency, score, plus count per bin gives you a clean distribution. Larger bins downsample high-frequency data, reduce noise and reveal long-term patterns. In practice, use 1-minute or 5-minute bins for real-time dashboards, 1-hour or 1-day bins for weekly, monthly reports. Binning turns chaotic raw data into understandable, visual stories. Here are the trade-offs and common pitfalls. Finer bins give higher resolution, you see more detail, but they increase cardinality risk and memory pressure. Coarser bins reduce cardinality, smooth out trends, but you lose fine-grained detail. Pitfall 1. Binning too fine, right-pointing arrow cardinality explosion and slow or failing queries. Pitfall 2. Binning too coarse, right-pointing arrow aggregates become meaningless, e.g., yearly average latency hides daily spikes. Always filter early before binning to shrink the input row count. And combine bin with summarize, counts, averages, percentiles per bin to get rich, aggregated insights. Get the bin size right for your use case, and you unlock powerful, scalable analytics. Look at this balance scale. It captures the classic binning decision you make every time in KQL. On the left pan, finer bins, high detail icon showing sharp resolution, but watch the exploding cardinality warning. Tiny intervals like 1 second or 10 value buckets create thousands or millions of groups, memory pressure, slow queries, risk of failure. On the right pan, coarser bins, smooth trend icon for clean, readable patterns, plus the green low cardinality check. Larger windows like 1 hour or 100 value buckets collapse data into fewer groups, fast, low memory, stable performance. The middle arrow says resolution versus cardinality trade-off. Finer bins give you more detail but can blow up your query. Coarser bins keep things smooth and scalable but might hide important spikes. The art is finding the sweet spot. Fine enough for insight, coarse enough to avoid explosion. Filter early, test bin sizes, and always ask, do I need this level of detail, or will it just cost me performance? Choose smart, and your time series and histograms become fast, clear, and reliable. Why does this topic matter in interviews? Interviewers ask about time series and aggregation design. Common questions include, why bin timestamps before grouping? And, how do you choose bin size? Understanding discretization shows scale-aware thinking. This topic is essential for observability, monitoring, and reporting roles. Explaining trade-offs demonstrates practical query design skills. If you can say, I bin to 5 minutes for dashboards to balance resolution and cardinality, then use coarser bins for long-term trends, you prove you think like someone who's built real production analytics. To wrap up, binning and discretization reduce cardinality and make grouping feasible at scale. Bin floors values to fixed intervals, creating consistent, aligned windows. It's critical for time series trends, histograms, downsampling, and readable aggregates. The trade-off is clear. Finer bins give more detail but risk cardinality explosion. Coarser bins smooth trends but lose granularity. Always filter early before binning, and choose bin size based on your use case. Real-time dashboards need finer, monthly reports need coarser. Master this, and you turn chaotic raw data into clear, actionable stories. That's episode 21 done. Thanks for spending time with me on ZoomInData. Next in episode 22, Multi-dimensional grouping, we will explore hierarchical analysis implications, multi-key grouping, and how to avoid pitfalls. Homework to lock this in. Explain to someone or out loud. Why do we bin timestamps before grouping? Think of a time series query and suggest appropriate bin sizes for dashboard versus monthly reporting. Answer this one. What is the main trade-off when choosing bin interval? If this helped, like the video, share it with anyone prepping for Azure interviews, subscribe for episode 22, and drop a comment with your biggest takeaway today. Thank you so much for watching ZoomInData. See you next time. Keep zooming in on those concepts. Bye for now.